Be an actor and a producer and a director. How are you?
I'm great.
Good to have you with us this morning.
My pleasure.
Yes.
You know, I admire the two of you most of the time when I see you. Yes, I
Well,
do.
you're live with us now.
Thank God.
So
Now
enjoy the
the
moment.
charm of an actor is coming to play now. The charm of an actor. Should we start by asking him? The situation we find in Nigeria is playing out across the entire terrain, and then we see it happening with the Actors Guild, your constituency in Lagos.
My constituency in Lagos.
Where elections are conducted, they are counted, and then the only thing missing was the breaking of heads.
And they nearly got to that.
I think they got to that, according to reports I had, because one of them was beaten up. But it's a big letdown. I'm ashamed of it all. That at this age and time, we that are supposed to be people who set an example and
Role models.
Yes, role models. People who, if you look at the history of Nollywood, why it is called a phenomenon is because it started from nothing. A country that was neglected, and a group of people stood up one time to say, okay, let us repackage this country and sell it out. We did, and all of a sudden, people are interested in a country, and the people who put that act together are messing up the political system, as it were. So what story are we going to tell the politicians? We give them moral justification for doing what they do. I'm ashamed of it, most especially coming from people we thought, as it were, would have been able to hold it down. Where a situation somebody will carry a ballot box and run away.
So,
Where a situation where you will say security was not there. I watched the tape on channel. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed.
Ballot box.
So why was it that we wouldn't have big name actors like yourself being president of the most prolific city where you've got actors, Lagos?
I have been a president. I was the president of the Association of Movie Producers. We employ them. And happens to be the guild of all guilds. Let's use that word. And the man at the helm of affairs right now is Zigzulu. And during my stewardship, we're able to bring in decency and good rule of and fair play.
And so what happened to that?
It beats me. It beats me so much because I was not even around. I saw it and I was like, no, this should not be. But again, my consolation is that brothers and sisters, they quarrel. They must reconcile themselves.
True.
That's my consolation.
True, but when they're running away with ballot boxes, that's another matter entirely. I mean, is it that it's going the same way as the country is going, as they say?
It's baffling. It is baffling.
All right, let's talk about you then. What have you been up to lately? You're an actor, you're a movie producer, you are a key player in the Nollywood industry. You've done so much. Without flattering you, it's obvious you have done quite a lot in the industry. What is happening to you now? What are you working on?
I've gone back to the screen, and so far this year I've been able to appear or take part in about 6 movies. One of them was done by Lancelot Emasodua. That's Ovarame. Evasion.
Going
18,
back home.
Yes, going back home. And we finished that, and we had to. There was this call for this amnesty deal. When the president was a vice president, his terrain into what they call the Upper Creek, as done by Tarila Thompson. And
when is Obarama going to break?
I don't know. But what he's doing right, I think what Lancelot is doing right now is he wants to run it abroad before he brings it in. But it's a large one, it's a big one because sets were constructed back to 1897, how it was. And
that would have been expensive.
Very, very expensive. I know so far he's done about 100 million. And
wow.
I just don't understand how Lancelot is pulling the stunts. but he's doing it.
And how he's hoping to make his money back?
Well, he will make his money back because there are people that are buying into it already.
Okay.
There's a huge one. The palace is involved. I know the Edo State government is going to get involved.
Okay.
I also want to believe that the federal government, because of the
When's the
centennial thing, is
production
going to get
expected
involved.
to be finished?
It's almost done. I think it's done. Lancelot is done.
So they're on post-production and...
Yeah, because most of them are on the tube. The trailer is on the tube, as it were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Great,
so
great,
that's
great
the kind of movie that Nigeria will export.
Yeah, because he actually brought in white men, brought them in to shoot here. Not we going to that place to look for them. He brought them in here. Brought in a wonderful set of people, wonderful crew, wonderful act.
Now, in terms of Nollywood, then, where do you think Nollywood has to go next so that it doesn't become stagnated?
We have to do cinemas, heavy-duty cinemas. Like, again, if I go back to when I was president, I knew we had this logjam, this situation where federal government abandoned us, in terms of piracy. We did everything except for the First Lady of Lagos State, who happens to be one of our patrons and our mother. She took the fight head on. And in the course of talking, we also found out that we can't take them like that because some big people in government are involved in this act. Where
In piracy?
Yes, where some government officials, we own replicating plants to start with, where some government officials will be settled so that they don't come to bust them, where we'll get our tax force to get out information and send it to relevant agencies, and they will throw their eyes the other way. Yes.
So that's almost the case, a similar case to what happens in the Niger Delta, where they said big men are in the business of oil theft.
Yes.
So we have big men who are in the business of
Piracy.
See, let me tell you the truth. Somebody will take a copy of this movie, for example, a CD or a DVD, take your own, about 10 titles, goes to London, goes to Peckham, drops it in Peckham, gives them a letter of authority. What the
Without
person
your
makes,
permission.
without my permission, what the person makes is enough to take off a ticket, enough to do shopping spree for them, pay in maybe a 3-star hotel, and they come back with impunity. One of the people who actually joined us in the fight was a Mekamba, where they had to stop people from taking movies out of the country. Now, what they do, the replicating plants don't operate daytime. They operate in the night. They start work by probably about 10 p.m. By 4 p.m. they are done. They cut it away. They go through our borders. They take it out. And if you get to the replicating plants, they have different, they call it legs. And
Legs.
yeah. And when they start, each arm will be able to do a minimum of about 200 or 300,000 copies. And you see somebody doing about 10 different titles.
Well, isn't the Copyright Commission helping in any way?
Yeah, maybe the new man, because he has a fear of God, is working now. But before it was a dead end. And that was what led us to cinema. So when I said, okay, let's get into cinema. And during my stewardship, we were able to broker deals with, because I remember when I was coming back from Ghana, myself, Chico Ejiguro, and some other people would run into Ben Bruce, and he threw a challenge. Give me a movie, I'll give you 100 million. I told him, write it down. He said, Paul, give me a movie, I'll give you 100 million. I said, deal. So we went back, called our people, we started doing movies for cinemas.
But cinema is expensive.
It is expensive.
So how do you intend to
but
go
they do,
around that?
but you know, amazingly, the trick is this. If you do it and you run a good course on cinema, in 3-4 months, you should be able to make more than 50% of your investment. Yeah. And there are so many endorsements there. And what we taught our people is, don't rush into this. Get the script. What if, for example, you need to do a news broadcast, for example, what stops you from dealing with channels? If I deal with Channels Television and get a newscaster to read what they want to read, it's credit to Channels, it's credit to me, and it gives me heavy publicity.
So now,
You
where
understand
are
it?
the cinema houses then? Because we don't seem to have enough. How many cinemas do
We
we have
don't.
in
We don't.
Lagos?
That was where the intervention came in. The government intervention came in. But most people got it wrong. You do not take loan to do movies, because movies are short-term, instant payment. Because the more you keep the money, the more your interest rate goes up. But if you take the loan, for example, to run a cinema house, the cinema house collateralizes itself, and then they can deduct whatever thing they want to deduct.
So someone like Kenem Karu of...
Can I enjoyed it? So many of them
Kene-
enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah, the first $200 million the president brought out. You understand it? And that is what it is supposed to be.
So a lot more filmmakers should be looking at, as part of their line of business, setting up cinema houses across the nation.
Not even cinema makers. Governments of each state. For example, how many local governments do we have? Close to about 730 something. Now imagine a situation where we have in each local government a neighborhood cinema. In the neighborhood cinema, you have drinking place, you have whatever thing you want to have in there. Everything is in there. You find out that you have been able to, 1, generate employment, 2, arrest the restiveness of youth, 3, create succor to people. And then the average filmmaker would have been able to pay his tax and develop the area. Now, if a title goes out and it hits 734 local government area.
774.
774. Imagine the turnout.
Even if it's only 1 million per cinema,
Yeah.
you're looking at almost $1 billion. All right, we have to wrap it up on
Quickly,
that
before
note.
we go,
We have to go now.
quickly, what is your advice to upcoming actors?
Hey, very simple. What belief do you have? Have a role model. Understudy the role model. Get involved with the guild's activities. Pay your dues. Rise gradually. Most of them are in a rush to become a Genevieve, become a Zakoji, become a Obazele. No. This is
Obazele certainly paid his dues.
25 years.
Thank you very much, Paul. It's been good talking to you.
My pleasure.